Hello my fellow R's and welcome back to another episode of A View from the Loft with me, P Block Scudze. And welcome to part 2 of You're Not Fit to Wear the Hoops. Now in part 1 me and Charlie talked about two managers that just were no good for our club at all. We had Mark Hughes that had way overspent on absolute crap players, and then we had Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank who just didn't have a clue when it came to his starting 11, formation, etc. So moving on to part 2, and in this episode we've got 4 players that we are going to be talking about, and needless to say we're not exactly going to be nice about these guys either. So just before we start, just to remind everyone that there is strong language throughout this video. Other than that, let's get into it and see who is not fit to wear the hoops. So now we talked about two managers that are certainly not fit to wear the hoops. I think it's time we talk about some players that are definitely not fit to wear the hoops. I think I'm gonna go. No, none of them deserve any sympathy at all. I don't think. Ji-sung Park. I'm just gonna throw him out. Ji-sung fucking Park. Right, get this. When we signed him from Man U, he had played for Man U 134 times. He scored 19 goals. He'd won the Premier League 4 times, the League Cup 3 times, the Community Shield 4 times, the Champions League, and the FIFA World Club Cup.
And I'll tell you what, I bet he won all of those off the bench. So all those appearances, I bet at least 3/4 of them are all from substitutions off the bench.
I think I soon realised that this amazing player that we got from Man U was in actual fact, lucky to be a part of any of their teams in his time at Man U, because he was just non-existent. I mean, what was it he played? He played for us 25 times, or he made 25 appearances, so I don't know if that's probably subs as well. Scored no goals, spent most of the season injured. Couldn't make a tackle if you tried, couldn't get near the ball if you tried.
Worst about it though was he was made captain. Yeah. I have no idea how that's happened.
Well, I mean, to be fair, when you're coming in with a CV like that, being signed by Mark Hughes of all people, you'd expect him. I remember when we signed him, I was really happy. I was like, wow, this is a great player. He's really going to do well for us in midfield. He's going to boss, might as well have not been on the pitch, full stop.
Yeah, a marquee signing, but offered no real quality, as you said. No real form of leadership. I don't really know. I mean, okay, he did have some really good moments and scored some great goals for United and everything, but it's just another player that was past his sell-by date that just wasn't really going to fit in with the team that, well, what a team Mark Hughes built, but he wasn't fit for the fight. He wasn't fit to start every game that he hadn't done for the last 5 years of his career. He'd been, as I said, in and out off the bench. Granted, he'd start some games, but I mean, I don't know what he brought to the club. I mean, yeah, he brought his experience, but did he utilise that in any benefit in our performances? No. What's that? Sorry.
Sales and new fans that were only one season.
Yeah.
I mean,
he offered nothing on already off the pitch. It's just frustrating. I don't.
He's come from Man U, right? Man U, top 6 team of the Premier League. Can't remember the last time they ever had to fight for relegation, especially since Ferguson was there. Even when he played in Holland, they weren't struck like that team weren't struggling. He's never been into a club where they've had to fight off relegation, not win every game. And they just, do you know what? He's a waste of breath. He's a waste of breath in the history of QPR, really.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to tarnish his career because, I mean, what a career he's had. But he just wasn't cut for a relegation battle. And like you said, the pressure, obviously there's a lot of pressure playing for United. But when, you've got all the players around you that are leading the team, not so much leading the team, but they're the star players. When he's brought into QPR, he's got the pressure of right, you're the talisman, you're the captain, you've got to influence this team and get us out of this relegation battle, and he just wasn't cut out for it. No. And he didn't have the confidence. He just, like I've said about 4 times, he was not cut out for it. and hence why he was a big flop. And I'm
Yeah,
sure on massive wages as well.
yeah, he was surrounded by mercenaries as well.
Yeah, that obviously that didn't help.
That
I mean, yeah, the two cultures, the dressing rooms as well, are completely different. He didn't settle it.
I mean, could you imagine Ji-sung Park in the dressing room at half time going, for fuck's sake, lads, come on, let's go out there and win the game? No.
Yeah, come on, let's get into him. No.
He'd just be like, oh, can we win? So I can imagine being like little like dormouse in the dressing room.
Yeah, the thing is that
should be
another decision from Mark Hughes. No, sorry, go on.
I was just going to say, like, if you're the captain, you should be basically like a second. Well, you should be the manager on the pitch. You should be the one directing the team, and he just didn't do that at all.
So that's the thing. This another decision from Mark Hughes, where you look at Ji-sung Park, and from the outside you may go, okay, yeah, he's got the experience, he's done it at the highest level, and from that CV you could go, he should be our captain. But our captain should be chosen on the influence that someone has in the dressing room. It should be chosen on the one that can get the most out of those players. And he just what made him think he could do that? Like you say, I can't picture Ji-sung Park going in and saying, you need to do this, pull your finger out. He needs to be vocal. And he just a poor decision.
He would
shouldn't have been the captain.
Man, you would he?
No.
So
what makes him think he's got the leadership roles to get the most out of the QPR squad? And I think
it's almost like Mark Hughes was too busy counting his money, and he went, "Oh, you need to make a decision on the captain." Oh, yeah, it would do. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, and he's done it at United. We'll have him. When we had proper leaders in that squad, and I think it was probably quite demotivating for some of the other players in the squad, the more experienced players that have been at QPR for longer.
Yeah.
Probably like Anua, he was still at the club. Why does some guy who's come from United deserve to be captain when Anua's been there for a good few years now, or a couple of years? He's understood, what it's like to play for the club, and he's respected that. Why should he just rock up and be the captain? I think it's just, let's call it a day.
Definitely not fit to wear the hoops.
No, definitely not.
Let's move on from that waste of space, dude. Hit me up with someone else then.
Do you want to hear it? Do you really wanna? Let's go for Christopher Samba.
Oh, Christopher.
What? This guy that turned up at Loftus Road upon his signature to sign was nothing like the man that Blackburn had a few years prior.
Was he
a completely different player?
Or was it his brother? The one that didn't play football.
Split twin. I think a DNA test should have been carried out. Something's not right.
Yeah. I mean, like you said about, I remember him being at Blackburn and being like, wow, what a defender.
Wow.
And we were after him, and Blackburn didn't want to let us sign him. And, when we finally got to sign him, it was just like, oh my God, this is amazing. We've got this man mountain, like this up-to-date version of Danny Shipley, basically, but more, and what we got was a pile of, cow dung, basically.
That's putting it politely.
Yeah,
I mean,
it breaks my heart that he was so crap, rather than it frustrates me, because he should have been.
Disappointment for himself, I think.
Yeah, it's when a parent says to a child, "I'm not angry at you, I'm just disappointed."
Yeah,
that's the feeling I get with Chris Samba.
Because he wasn't so much where his attitude was diabolical. His just performances were so subpar that you just kind of felt like, I mean, obviously, I'm pissed off at you because we paid lots of money for you and you're playing absolutely shit, excuse my words. But it's more like, how have you got so bad? I don't understand. It's like, I feel sorry for you in a way that, you know what I mean? But
bit of a theory here, but do you think the Russian club basically played a bit of a prank on us and said,
they must have done.
Look, 12 million, it'll stop any goals going in. And come the end of the season, when their board turned around to them and went, you said that he wasn't going to let your goals in, and they're too busy rolling around the floor laughing, going, sorry guys, it was a prank. Look, here's your 12 million back. We're going to flog him to someone else where he won't bother.
Yeah, we'll mug someone else off. He sold him to Dynamo Moscow 2 months later, and he went there for 3 years. But I mean, I remember when we signed him, Tony Fernandez came out and said, Redknapp, we need a centre half. Redknapp gave me this list, and Christopher Samba was at the top. And, he went all out, 12.5 million, 100k a week, 4-year contract. And we're thinking, if we've got the player that Blackburn had, he could keep us up.
Yeah.
And let's just cast our minds back to the proper, let's say his worst ever moment in QPR shirt. I mean, none of them were good, but that Fulham game, it keeps me up at night. The first goal, all 3 goals, I think maybe 4 we conceded, but 3 of the goals were completely his fault. The first one, he gives away a stonewall penalty at the edge of the box. Second one gives the ball away on the edge of the box, and then lets the man past him and he scores. Third goal gets completely sucked out of position. Man goes past him, hits it in off Clinton Hill. I mean, that just epitomised the Christopher Samba that LeBrock put up in West London. Like we said, just disappointing.
And that performance alone, because it's against one of our big,
it couldn't have been worse. No,
you've just literally pied every QPR fan in the face.
You pulled our pants down, literally.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it's definite that he was not fit to wear the hoops.
No, not a chance.
Well, let's go from somebody who's disappointing to somebody who's absolutely crazy. And I'm going to bring up, and this may seem a little bit controversial to some, Stefan Mbia. And I have my theory, I have my reasons, don't worry.
But madness, as always.
We signed him, and 4 games in, he gets himself sent off, stupidly lunging into a tackle. He did make, 32 appearances, I believe. And he scored, 32 appearances, and he didn't score any goals for us. I think he was sent off more than he had chances to score, didn't he?
I mean, well, to be fair, he kind of played hold in midfield sometimes, but such a loose cannon in that central midfield. I remember what perfectly summed it up for me was the Wigan game at home towards the tail end of the season, and I think it was from a goal kick or a free kick, and he charged the pitch. He'd run all the length, and he's laid off a beautiful little pass to Remy, and Remy's beautifully belter into that top corner. And we're 1-0 up, and it's looking like we're going to get 3 points here. Real crucial stage of the season. I know, that was a crucial stage. And what did he do in the 89th minute? He gives away a stupid free kick that just wasn't needed outside the edge of the box. About 8 players behind him, behind the ball. And Malone puts it in the top corner, and we draw 1-1. It was those stupid decision-making. He'd do something amazing, and he'd just completely eradicate it by doing something ridiculous, like getting himself sent off, stupid tackles. He was so enjoyable, but so frustrating to watch.
He was another player who just didn't give 2 shits.
That's the thing.
And he walked away. And this is the main reason why I have put him into this list, is because at the time, Joey Barton was on loan at Marseille. And towards the end of the season, Mbia tweeted out to Joey Barton, "Do you want to swap seats? I.e., do you want to come back to QPR and I'll go to Marseille?" Now, we were shit enough as it was that season, fighting relegation, etc., etc. And he just turns around and goes, "Do you know what? Don't fancy it. Don't like it. Yeah, I'm just going to be disrespectful to all the fans. That sing my name when I'm playing well. Disrespect the club that's paying my wages that are probably astronomical. Anyway." Yeah. And it's that it pisses me off when any player cries about wanting to move and not getting their way. I mean, eventually we loaned him out that next season, and after that he did go. But that really just pissed me off. That what the fuck do you think you're doing?
Disgusting.
Right. We want Barton back, but we want your talent here too. Don't you appreciate the fact that we actually want you?
That's the thing. It wasn't like the fans really got on his back. I think he was pretty well supported. Yeah, and I think as well, if you look at why he probably was making such stupid decisions, like you say, because he couldn't really care about the club, didn't really care about the repercussions, and I think he always had in his mind that end of the season he'd come here, earn a good wage for a year, get a taste of English football, and then just piss off.
That's it.
It's a shame because he had the quality. But wasted. And don't disrespect the fans like that.
No,
disgusting. It's disgusting.
He was another one of those, it's a team in London. They're in the Premier League. they're throwing money at everything. Yeah, sorry, I'll go to them. Don't
Yeah,
really
I'll have a bit of that.
discussions. Not, I mean, obviously none of them came out and said, "Oh, it's always been my dream to play for QPR." But 9 times out of 10, they always say, "Oh, yeah, it's my dream to play in the Prem." I grew up supporting Man U or Arsenal or Chelsea, and you're like, you do realise you're playing for QPR. We're not a top 6 team, and
Yeah.
in actual fact, we don't really want you talking about other teams when you just signed for us.
Yeah.
No, but that just really pissed me off when he done that, and good riddance to
It's
him,
like,
mate.
yeah, I mean, it's such a symbolism of the kind of the bad eggs we had in that squad that a lot of the players have been so vocal about. And it's just so frustrating to obviously hear and kind of re-go over this. But again, it'd be pleased as well. We go from these moments, but now look at where we are now. So kind of got to be appreciative that the transition we've made now. But B are not fit to wear the hoops. To be fair, for some of the actions he made, a disgrace to play for the club, even though he had the potential to be a real good player for us.
Yeah.
But disappointing.
Yeah, fucking right, dude. Hit me up with someone else then.
So next up, let's have a scumbag from Chelsea. We didn't sign him from Chelsea. Signed from Man City 2011 for $4 million on a massive contract by the name of Sean Wright-Phillips. Do you know what made me laugh about looking up this one? You wouldn't believe how many goals he scored for us.
Go on.
In 67 games, he scored 2 goals, right? One of them came in the EFL Cup, and the other one...
2 goals? I thought he'd scored more than that.
No. One in the EFL Cup, but the other goal, now you should know where that one came from. The £4 million.
Your mum to put the champagne on ice. We're gonna beat Chelsea twice.
What a victory that was. I mean, paying $4 million for Sean Wright-Phillips and £65 a week for 3 or 4 years, whatever it was worth every penny for a victory away at Stamford Bridge. But 2 goals, it just sums him up. In 67 games for a winger is abysmal.
So he made 67 appearances for us, yeah? In what, 4 years? So
yeah, 4 years, I think.
That's doing calculations. So he must have made about 250 appearances on the bench, yeah?
Well, to be honest, it can't have been, because half the time he couldn't even be bothered to turn up to be on the bench.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I forgot about that. Mister, yeah, I'm on a decent... I'm going to turn up the training. Don't really feel like playing, but that's all right. I've done my bare minimum to get me through my contract. So, yeah, I'm just going to sit on the bench here or indoors, just collect some wage,
Yeah, if you want to quote him, fantastic contract is what he said, and he refused to leave. What a disgrace to the club.
He had so many chances to go. The club were like, go here on loan, go there on loan.
The thing is, the club said you can leave on a free transfer.
Yeah.
We don't want a fee for you. We're just happy for a club just to take you off our books. We can't afford to pay your wages anymore. But he thought, no, I'll sit back. I'll watch you all struggle. I'll watch you go into financial.
It's all right. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's so frustrating that a player that you pay £4 million to bring in. You support him from the get-go. You get behind him, and then he just does that to the fans and the club.
I honestly don't know how he slept at night. I really don't. Well,
to be honest, I think I'd sleep pretty well at night if I was on 65 grand a week.
But it's just that fucking attitude, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Bang out of order, the club had to jack up a lot of prices anyways to try and cover some of these heads. The fans themselves could not afford to do a lot of things or, pay out for a lot of things. And there's him, sitting doing fuck all, on all that money. It's just so wrong. When, there's people out there that would love to play professional football for pittance.
Yeah.
It's
not even a tenth of that.
Because he was such an adored player when he was at City, the first time around.
Yeah. Don't forget, England international as well. We won't talk about Chelsea, but...
He was going to be the future. And
he was.
He just pisses me off so much. I fucking hate him. I really do.
Honestly, the thought of him boils my blood, but it's so sad that... Like when we signed him, I was so excited. I think, we come up to the Premier League. We've signed this player from Manchester City. He played for England. He's going to be fantastic for us. But
another player with a great CV.
Another player with a great CV, but couldn't give a crap about the club. Pissing away his wages.
It just goes to
I
show.
know we've used the word disrespect so many times, but these players just disrespected everything about QPR.
Yeah.
Took the piss.
It's it just, I mean, it was at a time as well where it was sort of rife throughout the game, not just at QPR. So many players, I don't really care. I'm getting astronomical wages. I'm going to cry about it. I'm going to moan about it. But I'm going to see out my contract until I'll go somewhere else. And
Yeah, I ain't going anywhere, but I ain't, I'll maybe turn up to training once a week, just so I'll tick the box. But yeah, I ain't playing. I mean, he played 4 times in the last season he was with us. 4 times he appeared. I think 3 of those were on the bench, and once he started.
yeah,
That's diabolical.
fuck all. Absolutely fuck all.
And to be honest, he didn't deserve to be in the team more than that.
No, he
And
didn't.
what do you actually think about him? How do you think he actually performed for us?
To start with, pretty well. To start with,
yeah, I think he did all right. Yeah.
I've signed for QPR. I've got a lovely contract. I'm going to play well. Get the fans on my side. And it's going a little bit tits up behind the scenes. All right, I'm just going to sit at the back and pretend I'm not here.
Yeah, because it's easy saying for the whole thing. I think the first season, I think he did give it a reasonable go. And like he did have some good performances, but from then, nah. He's cut from the same cloth as all of these, and if not, probably the worst. Up there, well, over someone we'll touch on later, Basinga, but he just took the piss. So
I think it's safe to say he will never, ever, ever get an invitation to the Forever Ours Club.
Don't make me laugh. Yeah,
around his neck. Wanker.
Oh my god,
right.
He's not welcome.
So there you go, guys. Our first 4 players who we felt were just not fit enough to wear the hoops. Do you agree or do you disagree? Either way, let me know in the comment section below. So with part 3 coming up, we've got 4 more players to talk about, and trust me, it's going to get a lot more heated when we talk about these last 4 players. But anyway, if you've liked this video, make sure you hit that like button, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button too. And don't forget to go and check out Charlie's YouTube channel, Talking Rangers. The link will be in the description below. But other than that, as always, come on you Rs.